Alright, this video is for David Shino Hrůša, and he's trying to do a rocker pose style. So the big thing that I'd point out right away is that you want to get the anatomy in there a little bit more. So when I look at this, I'm just gonna go red here. So when I look at this, oops, wrong tool. Okay, so when I look at this, you've got the head is okay. Most people actually get this a little bit wrong. You've got a good line work going on here, so that's a plus. The neck comes out, but the problem you have is that you're not getting the form in the body and the twist. So what you want is you want kind of this gestural line here. So if that's the case, you're going to kind of push out the chest here, bring the breast, which you have in a pretty decent location, but the shoulder, if you're twisting that in perspective, that shoulder won't be that high. Instead, you want to kind of bring the shoulder more up like this and then down. So kind of like so. And then what you're doing is with this twist, you're pulling a little bit more of the hips, and what you're kind of doing is you're going to rotate the hips towards you a little bit, and then you want to counterbalance them even more to match the shoulder line. And then that's going to actually push out the hips and give you more, it's kind of like that hip thrust going on like so. And then same thing here, down like so, which is pretty decent. But the problem you have is the way you're twisting your hips. You want to really pay attention to where the feet are planted, and I think that's a big issue on what you're doing right now. Is the feet are going to be, it's going to come down here like so, and your ankle is going to be more straight. So by rotating your foot like that, it's going to look awkward. And what you almost want to do is instead bring the leg a little bit down a little bit more and twist the leg back, and then bring the feet down with the heel coming up a little bit. And then same thing here. What you want to do is you want to bring this down, and again, keep this in line with the legs, and keep that leg like so. And I think that's a better pose. It's very subtle differences from what you have, but like having the shoulder a little bit smaller, having the and then have the wrist. What I would say is have the wrist bent a little bit this way, so you'd see the underside of the hand, like that, and then watch this area here, because you're pushing this back like so, and actually you wouldn't even really see the upper part. You would actually see it coming out like this. Oops. So something like this, and then the wrist like so. But that's also going to change your what I want to say it is, spear guitar type thing. That would change that, because now what you're doing is you're actually pulling this forward. So you want this arm is going to actually come out a little bit more. So you want to actually extend this a little bit more like this. So it's more like coming towards you, rounding it out like that. And that's going to help you out quite a bit. The other thing is, looking at yours, your upper body shoulder area is significantly bigger whereas on a female you want to accent the hips. So as you can see here, I put out the hips a little bit more, and I've narrowed down the shoulder quite a bit. The other thing too is since you're pulling this arm outward, you want to layer this effect here. So if this is the breasts, you basically put that cleavage in something like this, and so you're layering that. So what happens is when you start painting this out, you're going to get a nice layer effect like that. And so that's the way I would kind of twist your body shape a little bit more, and I think that's going to be a better pose. And then again, make sure you get that perspective and that foreshortening in there with the muscles and everything going on, and I think that'll help a little bit more. The wings, I think the wings are fine. Just be sure to kind of get your form going on, and if you want more depth in your scene, this here is going to poke out like so, and then I would actually have the wing come in between the foot here like this, and then so it kind of shows you more of the foreshadow and information that you're looking for there. So you see now this is actually popping out a little bit more, and then it's actually coming around the character, and then you might want to keep that same aspect going on here, where the wing instead goes this way, and of course it would extend off the page, but the wing itself extends this way, and that way you can kind of put that behind this object here, and doing so is going to kind of give you a lot more of a foreground, middle ground, background with the character. So that's kind of where I would go. I think you've got also one more thing before we go. Make sure, and I'm going to show you on this on any layer, make sure that when you do this, you wrap your I'll do it in blue just to offset it, actually green, to offset it. Make sure you wrap around your forms. So on this case, the hips would come around like this. All right, make sure you get that form in there. Whereas this, because it's a little bit more towards you, kind of changes its aspect. This would be around the wrist. Make sure you wrap your forms around the body, and that will actually help you out quite a bit more. And you'll get a little bit more form in there and a little bit more depth in your drawing. All right?